Another week, another blessing, another episode of your favorite groundbreaking show, The Miracle Perspective. Last week, we went into the offices of UP's Dr. Lizelle Dyson in search of answers to the mind boggling question, Who are you? And answers she did give. As is usual, the Perspective team found more joy in digging deeper, and this week, our Master Digger Miracle was in Dr. Noreen Davis's office to seek out her perspective to the question, Who are you? Here's how it all went down. Thank you for tuning in for yet another episode of The Miracle Perspective. Don't forget to click on the subscribe button and share with your people what The Miracle Perspective is all about. Catch you next week, same place, same time, 9 p.m., right here on The Miracle Perspective.
Guess what, my people? I am with the mother of all students, as we all know her. I'm sure all the geography students will be so happy to see you on my show. Welcome to the TMP TV show. This is the Miracle Perspective. And this is Dr. Davis, Noreen Davis. She's been the person who guided me along my study path ever since I started with my... Because I did a course with you in first year, Yeah. So from first year till where I am now, she's been my mother. When things were bad, she was there to pull me up. When I didn't know where I was going, she was like, oh. And here I am. And I'm big now. You can see that, right? Yeah. Because of this mother of mine, I love her so much. And I'm asking her the same question that I'm asking everybody. That what does the question, who are you, mean to you? And because I've already explained why it's so important to me, but I just want to get everybody to start thinking about themselves. Who are they? Would life be different if we all strive to understand who we are before we go and interact with other people? So I don't know, what's your take?
Okay, I think how you define who you are, for me, is about the kind of legacy that I would like to leave behind. So it's how people, it's not really how people perceive you, but it's where I would like to leave a mark. So I heard a speaker talk about this topic the other day, and he said that the idea that we are South Africans, and then we are within a certain religious denomination, and then you have your career, and then you have your home life, and somewhere within all that you need to define yourself. So I think who you are is that overriding characteristic. So you do adopt different personalities and you adopt different characteristics, and I would hope that who I am would be defined by my belief systems.
Yeah.
We were able to edit that.
No, it's fine. we want to be as natural as possible. So you'll see this on the video. It's fine. It happens, people. We are people.
Okay.
Yeah,
but I think it's that overriding principle. And I think when you are confronted with when things doesn't work, when you don't get your way. And one of the battles I had was being busy with my PhD, and at some stage you want, like you said, when you're confronted with failure, and you sort of had this vision for yourself. And who I am, I realized then that how I respond to things. Your kids become your mirror image. So very often, who I am is reflected in their responses to things.
Wow.
Yeah.
So who you are is mostly exposed when you start interacting with other people.
Yeah.
Like the way you deal with situations that face you exposes a certain character about you. And the legacy you're trying to leave behind is defining who you are. So basically, if I want to leave a legacy of people who strive to seek who they are all the time, then I would live my life according to that legacy that I want to leave behind. That's what you're saying.
Yeah.
Wow, that's profound.
And that should define it. So, like giving up. then you start thinking that there's a and it's something that you and Brian do. You read a lot of things, and it's sort of in what resonates with you starts to dictate you. And when you think about giving up, it's about how will this define the rest of your life. So for me, I've learned that not to sweat the small things, and to sort of see the bigger picture. And in my house, we were saying that this too will pass. Because something that's in front of you that you think is so big and such a challenge, then you sort of look back in hands and you go, actually it wasn't such a big deal. Yeah, so I'm hoping, Miracle, that when you ask people, if something should happen to me one day and I'm not here anymore, that when you ask people, who was she? That my legacy would be one that I was a Christian. I tried to minister as much to people as I could. I don't minister upfront, but I try to minister through my conduct. And that's what I hope would define one day who I am.
Now I think I'm sure about the next topic. I spoke about this when I was interviewing Dr. Lizzo. And I said, the next topic should be, who do you think people think you are?
Yes. And to what extent do you, but there's a benefit in there. Because if people have a belief in you, you're going to start feeling like you want to live up to it.
Yes.
But if people start putting you into a bracket, into a box, and you start believing that box, then that's the danger.
It's dangerous,
Yeah. And for me specifically, as a colored person in South Africa, who I am is something that you need to define through your life.
And it's funny how we thought you were Indian before.
That's the thing. So, and I get it a lot. People are trying to sort of, but what is your background? And especially with like a black South African, people know, right? White South African people know, but with colored people there's always that question, but really who are you? Are you from Cape Town? So I deal with all those sort of stereotypes, and I deal with all those questions when I'm with other people. And when I walk into a lecture venue, I know like people are sort of going, what? As if that would say something about me, as if that would say something about my intellectual ability, as if that would say something about, how I interact with people. But who you are is, so even the question again, it's sort of trying to, and I can't be in that box. And if I'm going to be put in a box, I'd like to be put into a box that she was a Christian lady. That's the only box I would be happy with.
Wow. Deep, guys. It's getting deeper than I thought it would get. I think, you see, one more thing before we go. This next question of who do you think people think you are? I think it's also important to also give you a background check of yourself. To say that I'm trying to be like this, but people still think I'm like this. Is there something wrong with what I'm doing? Perhaps it's another way of aligning ourselves, because sometimes we're just living lives and we forget that you become too like you are in yourself. Then you forget that there's people around you, but now these people perceive you in a certain way that you don't perceive yourself. But when you get those perspectives of people about you, then it realigns you to who you're trying to be.
It's also, it's about this idea of and you go through this in your journey, like when you in your work situation, especially as an academic. In South Africa, we didn't have role models, so I didn't know. We had this vision about an academic looks like this and an academic talks like that, but there's no role models, because that also defines who you are. Because you start seeing that a priest is like that and the priest does this, and so in this sort of journey of mine, I needed to figure out that what type of academic do I want to be, what type of person do I want to be. So I could decide to walk into a lecture venue and be as formal and academic and use big words and intimidate students and be aloof and distant. But somewhere along the line I realized that the person that you see outside this building should be the same person that you see in the lecture venue, should be the same person that you see at home. Right? So obviously I'm not gonna go and walk into a lecture venue and talk about Christianity. That's not the place or my positionality. Right?
Wow, and that's so interesting because you're in the science field
I'm in the science.
where the major belief system of science is evolution. But you're saying you're a Christian where creationism is what you believe in. But you have these two working together and you're okay with that.
I'm perfectly okay with it. And that's the things that you need to figure out.
Wow.
Good?
Thank you so much. I appreciate this. But before we go, I just want to give you a hug because that's what I do. The people I love. Thank you so much for this. I love you so much. Guys, this is my mother.